My name is Eleanor. I'm 85 years old. And the house still smells like him. I know that sounds strange. He's been gone for 7 years now. 7 years this October. But if I walk into the bedroom in the morning, or if I open the closet where his jackets used to hang, there it is. Faint. But there. Old Spice aftershave. Sawdust. Something warm I don't have a name for. I don't know if it's real anymore. Maybe it's not. Maybe I've just breathed it in so many times that my mind puts it back, even when it's gone. But I still smell it. And I still can't decide if that's a kindness or a punishment. We were married for 58 years. That's a long time to share a house with someone. A long time to share a life. People used to ask us how we did it. How we stayed together that long. And Richard would smile and say something simple. Something about patience. About choosing each other every day. And I'd nod. Because that's what you say, isn't it? But the truth is, I don't think I ever really chose him. Not the way I should have. I was there. I showed up. I cooked dinner and folded his shirts and sat next to him on the couch every night for nearly 60 years. But I don't know if I ever really saw him. We met when I was 22. He worked at the hardware store on Maple Street. I came in looking for a rake. My mother had sent me. I didn't know the first thing about rakes. He helped me. Explained the difference between metal and bamboo. Which one would last longer, which one I could afford. He had kind eyes. A quiet voice. When I left, I realized I'd been smiling the whole time. 3 months later, we were engaged. Everyone said we were a good match. Steady. Reliable. We didn't fight much. We didn't make a scene. And I thought that meant we were doing it right. Richard worked at the post office for 37 years. Every morning, he'd wake up at 5:30, make coffee, kiss me on the forehead before he left. He never complained. Not once. When he came home, he'd sit in that chair by the window. The brown one with the torn armrest. He'd read the paper. Sometimes he'd hum. I'd cook dinner. We'd eat. We'd watch television. And then we'd go to bed. That was our life. For 58 years. I don't remember when I stopped asking him questions. I don't remember when I stopped wondering what he was thinking about when he stared out that window. Maybe I never started. Maybe I thought I already knew. We had routines. We had rhythms. And somewhere along the way, I think I convinced myself that was enough. That knowing someone's schedule was the same as knowing them. There was a night, maybe 15 years ago, when he couldn't sleep. I woke up, and he wasn't in bed. I found him in the kitchen, sitting at the table in the dark. I asked him if he was okay. He said he was fine. Just thinking. I asked him what about. He looked at me for a long time. Like he was deciding whether to say it. And then he just smiled. Nothing important, he said. I went back to bed. I never asked again. After he retired, he started spending more time in the garage. He'd always liked to build things. Small things. Birdhouses. Shelves. A little wooden box he made for my jewelry. But after he retired, he was out there almost every day. I'd bring him lunch sometimes. A sandwich. A glass of water. He'd thank me. Kiss my cheek. And I'd go back inside. I didn't ask what he was working on. I didn't sit with him. I thought he wanted the space. One afternoon, maybe a year before he got sick, I walked out there and found him holding a piece of wood. Just holding it. Not sanding it. Not measuring. Just holding. His hands were shaking. I asked if he was all right. He set the wood down. Wiped his hands on his pants. I'm fine, he said. But his voice cracked. Just a little. And I didn't know what to do with that. So I said, dinner's in 20 minutes. And I left. He died on a Tuesday. Heart attack. The doctor said it was quick. That he didn't suffer. I don't know if that's true. But I nodded. Because what else do you do? For the first few weeks, I couldn't go into the garage. I couldn't even look at the door. People came by. Brought casseroles. Sat with me. Said the things people say. And I thanked them. But when they left, the house was so quiet. So still. I'd never noticed how much sound he made. The creaking of his chair. The clearing of his throat. The way he'd hum those songs I never asked the names of. It was all gone. And I realized I didn't know how to fill it. It was about 3 months later when I finally opened the garage. I don't know what I expected to find. Half-finished projects, maybe. Tools I'd have to figure out what to do with. But when I stepped inside, I saw it. A chair. Wooden. Handmade. Smooth and carefully sanded. It was beautiful. There was a note on the seat. In his handwriting. It said, "For you. So you have somewhere to sit with me." I stood there for a long time, just staring at it. And I realized. He'd been building it for me. For months. Maybe longer. Not because I asked. Not because I needed it. But because he wanted me there. With him. I never sat with him. Not once. Not in 58 years. Not in that garage. Not in that chair by the window. I was always somewhere else. In the kitchen. In the laundry room. Upstairs. Doing something I thought was more important. And he never said anything. He just kept building. Kept humming. Kept waiting. I sit in that chair now. Almost every day. Out in the garage. Where he used to be. And I try to imagine what he was thinking about all those years. What he wanted to say. What he was building toward. But I can't. Because I never asked. The house still smells like him. But he's not here. And I can't go back. I can't sit with him the way he wanted me to. I can't ask him the questions I should have asked 30 years ago. I can only sit in this chair he made for me. And wonder what we could have been. If I'd just paid attention. People talk about love like it's this big, loud thing. Like it's grand gestures and sweeping moments. But I don't think it is. I think it's quieter than that. I think it's noticing. It's asking. It's sitting down when someone wants you to sit. And I missed it. For 58 years. I missed him. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Maybe because I don't want you to do what I did. Maybe because I hope you'll see the people you love while they're still here. While there's still time to ask. To listen. To sit. Before the house just smells like them. And that's all you have left. If you've stayed this long, thank you. I don't know if this matters to anyone but me. But if it does, if you're thinking of someone right now, maybe go find them. While you still can.